and welcome to another episode on the Minerockin SMP. So, for those of you that have seen my previous video, we are now in the wonderful world of better RTX. So everything is looking rather shiny, but my base still has not progressed at all, actually. That's a little lie. I did say last time round we were going to try and get some farms up underneath here, rather than just my little mud farm and my bare bones concrete farm. And we have. We now have a little sugarcane farm. This is a rather simple little system. So, as you can see, we have a run of sugarcane. We have a run of pistons behind that. And then every sort of 3 or 4 blocks, we have an observer. So once the sugarcane grows to in front of any of these observers, grows up to its full height, it will pop all of the pistons at once. There's just a little run of redstone back there, as you can see. Pops all of those off at once. There is a hopper minecart underneath this, running around on a little track that basically goes up and down each of these, and then comes back and then deposits all of the sugarcane into hoppers here. Not the most efficient of systems, because all of the hoppers go into random chests and it's not popping as quickly as it possibly could and everything else, but it does its job. And the reason that this is down here is because we're going to spend a huge amount of time upstairs above us doing some building work over the next couple of episodes. So this can be grabbing all of the sugarcane whilst I'm doing it, so I can feed this to my librarians and get us a boatload of emeralds. I do have another farm. And that's going to be part 2 of this video, I do believe, is I'm going to be putting a moss farm over here. It may well do some bone meal as well, but I do actually want it primarily for the moss. I'm going to be doing some gardens upstairs to fill some of the space in my base. And grass doesn't work particularly well in a desert biome because it looks rather brown and grotty. So what we're going to do is we're going to use moss for my grass rather than using grass for my grass. So I'm going to need to go and find myself some moss blocks. I think there's a lush cave system around here somewhere. We'll find one of those. We'll find some moss, and then we'll build a moss farm over here somewhere. This farm is actually chunk aligned. The main reason being is for the hopper minecart underneath. None of the other redstone really cares about being chunk aligned or not. But we've still got the bug where minecarts can disappear on chunk borders. So rather than having the minecart crossing any chunk borders, I've just chunk aligned it. I'm not certain I'm necessarily going to chunk align any of the other farms, but we'll see what needs doing and do what needs doing. So, as I said, the moss farm's probably going to be part 2. Part 1, go out this side. Is the center point of this entire build, where my wandering trader friend has just popped up. I'm going to build a grand library up here. This build is sort of the whole reason why I'm here, to be brutally honest. With the way that we're doing the video this year, or the series this year, we had to bid for shops. We had a rolling bid system, and I got books, so we have my market stalls over there with all of the books in them. That's a temporary fix, although it's lasted so far the entire series. My plan was to put a grand library up here, and it's the reason why I'm building in a desert, because it's the way my brain worked. I went, I want to sell books. Books go in a library. Oh, I want to do a library. Let's have a quick Google search for grand libraries. And you either got stuff like, you know, colonial American grand libraries, that sort of thing, White House styled buildings. Didn't really interest me. but sort of older grand libraries with parchment scrolls and stuff like that. That did. So I found some images of grand libraries from sort of ancient Egypt and Roman times, and sort of played on that. I will share some imagery that I found that sort of inspired the build that we're going for. But that's the plan today, is we're going to get at least the footprint of this build in over here. Hopefully the first level of it as well. Don't know. We'll see how far we get. But that's the plan for today. We're going to get some building work done. We have restocked all of our shops after Boom basically raided me of everything. People are still shopping over here. This is quite amazing. But most of my shops are now completely restocked. And as I said in the last video, I do need to go through and edit a few. Why is there cobble in the middle of my doorway? Okay. Very funny. I have an infinite supply of cobble. Someone's built me a cobble farm in my base. Okay, we'll take a cobble farm in my base. You coming up? Okay, who's done this? Right, I'm gonna need to sleep. I'm sorry, I need to sleep. We'll go through the dark house. I want to see who's done this. I believe I know who it is. I believe this is Raf's prank, but I want to see. How far down does this go? Right. I'm going to dig myself out of this. You don't need to see me digging this. I'm going to dig all of this out, and we're going to have a quick check to see how Raf's redstone looks on this. So I don't know if you noticed, but if you've seen Raf's channel, but me and Raf did a redstone tutorial right at the very start of the series, and he's just up and to upload it now, where I explained the basics of redstone to him. So what we're going to do is I'm going to dig all of this out. I will then have to replace it all back again, but yeah, he did it, so I can do it. I'm going to dig all this out, and we'll have a look and see what his redstone's actually like, shall we? So, okay, this has hijacked the first part of this episode, but we'll see you soon. Right then, so yes, I was right. At least he signed his work. So yes, Raf was definitely here. And I'll be brutally honest, not bad work. I could think of slightly other ways of doing it. You could probably put an observer into one of these blocks and power it that way round. But it does everything it needs to do. So yeah, we are basically 12 levels below the surface. So a push limit for the piston. We have over at the top here, we have just a little cobblestone generator. So you've got a stair with some water in it. You've got some lava there. So when you block it, the piston pushes up. Your lava then runs in, hits the water, solidifies into cobblestone. I really like the way that he's using the skulk sensor. So basically the skulk will hear the piston, which will then trigger the skulk sensor, which is read by the comparator into the repeater, which then unpowers the block, dropping it back down, which then goes back up again. It's a really clever little system. Works really well. And yeah, I have a cobble farm in my build. This is brilliant. Outside of whether I'll leave it or whether I'll move it. I might move it, but eh. Thank you very much for my prank. That's rather cool. I had noticed the cobblestone block, but had not touched it. I was trying and see if I could work out what was going to happen when I hit it. Now I know. I get free cobble. Hey, so there's another farm in my base. I didn't have to do anything. Perfect. Right, back to the original plan. Let's get upstairs and let's get some a footprint down, shall we? Okay, so we had a small change of plan. In fact, we had more than a small change of plan. I didn't get a footprint down. We got the whole build done. So this is just the externals. I've not managed to get all of the insides done yet because this is going to be a huge build. But we've continued the same theme and style as we had at the front of the build here. So we've got our pillars. We've got the same style of roof. We have a little bit more smooth sandstone in this one just to break these walls up. If I'm going to go for all cut sandstone, it's just going to become a mass checkerboard. So I still might put a design in here, much like I'm still planning on putting a design in here and here. However, time is getting tight. We are getting closer and closer and closer to 1.20, which means the end of this season. So I may not get as much done as I wanted. So we've sort of powered through and got the build done. So if we take a look out here, we can see you've got this main build, which is sort of a circular middle with the little central tower, and then 4 wings on it. And then we've got these 2 outdoor pavilion sections just to bring it round and tie it into the back. These sections are just designed to sort of walk around, view your surroundings, stuff like that. It ties the whole system together to a degree. The floor, we're going to do something with the floor in a moment. The floor is in, but obviously this doesn't look particularly nice. But this is one of the best things about this. Watch. And you can see we've got a much nicer floor now just by stripping all of that wood. So rather than strip the wood and put it down, I'm going to go around and strip all of the wood in a minute, and we'll show you the 4 insides. What the floor looks like once that's been stripped. Inside the main build, you'll have to excuse the temporary lighting. This did become a bit of a mob farm, so we've just chucked some sea lanterns down. But we've got a nice double height, triple height section here. This is where my bookshop is going to go in its final form, as well as all of the librarians. So we're going to put a mezzanine floor in here. We're going to put the librarians at the top level that I can have access to get everything restocked, and then people can come in here, and we're going to have all the bookshelves around the side here that people can then get their books from. In the center, I've got a design for a nice little statue, and this ceiling isn't going to end up like this. I'm going to use a lot of mangrove wood to tie everything together again. So that's the outside of the build done. Now, whilst I was building this, I did notice that we have a bit of graffiti. Someone is flooding my market base, and I don't know why. Why have they just put a bit of... What is this? Huh? We might flood something here. I have no idea what is going on here. There is a tunnel all the way under my base at like bedrock level. What on earth? Okay, well, let's go and explore. Not there. There's nothing down there. How do I maintain this? Let's do this. So let's break you. We will break you. Let's block that one off and that one off, and then I can block that one off. Oh, I've got that block of prismarine, haven't I? We can block this one off as well. Now I can break all of this. There we go. Right. What is this? I am so confused here. Someone been living under my base or just mining under my base? There's just a lava. Right, I don't have time to deal with this. Which one of you has been here? Huh? And who flooded my market? Right, I'm gonna go back. I need to get my floor stripped. We might do a quick time lapse of the floor stripping. Now then, the reason we're doing all of this as quickly as I said is, as I say, the season is coming to an end shortly. So we are going to be limited to... Am I going to make this up here? Actually, yeah, we can do this one. So we can just poke our head out here when we come up. Yeah, the season's going to be quite limited to how long we've got left. So we are going to try to get as much built as we can. I've come up with a new plan. The moss farm is not going to happen, unfortunately. Whoever dug this, it must have taken them forever to dig it. So yeah, the moss farm isn't going to happen. I'm going to try and get just some moss elsewhere and get the gardens up. That's my next plan. But that's going to be the next episode. That as well as getting the inside of the build done. Hey, we've got to the top. You there, unflood. There we go. Although, having said that, I do need to push the rest of these back in now, don't I? So we can go you and you. And we can do the same this side. You and you. There we go. Fountain is back to where it went from. So yeah, we may unfortunately only have another couple of episodes left of this season. However, I do believe that we will be returning next time round. At least I hope we are, because I've got big plans for 1.20 and I think there's going to be some really cool stuff that we can do. I do have a good idea of what I want to get done as well, so that's certainly something to look forward to. But no, we shall see you next time out. We'll get the internals of my library built, and we shall get the books being sold from there, as well as my librarians in there as well, hopefully, and some gardens around the rest of the base. Hopefully we can get it fixed, finished, but we shall see. See you soon. Bye.